Book burnings. Nothing symbolises fascism so much as a book burning. Authoritarian leaders in the ancient world, tyrants, long before the Middle Ages, and in the Middle Ages and onwards through the 20th century into fascism and beyond into the present day, authoritarian tyrants like to have at their behest huge book burnings. They can then establish and stamp their rule and define themselves in sharp contradiction to their enemies. Such things have gone on long before the invention of the printing press, and we know that Nietzsche himself was ambivalent about the printing press, for it allowed the proliferation of reading matter and readers far beyond the elite, and therefore cheapening and dumbing down all forms of learning. For Nietzsche, the printing press was more harmful than book burning in terms of knowledge. But to the liberal West, the democratic, liberal, socialistic West, book burnings are the very sine qua non. They are the thing that symbolises their very nightmares of autocratic rule and intolerance. While the liberals like to censor books in a underhand way, in a subtle and devious way, by deplatforming and cancelling, they are appalled at fascists and tyrants who quite up front will take a pile of the books they hate and burn them. How can they dare to be so honest? This kind of thing must be abhorred. How can people blatantly state their intolerance and their likes and dislikes in such a grandstanding manner? And indeed, we had such bonfires of the vanities in the 20th century, because if you mention book burning today, the immediate image will be from the Third Reich in Germany in the 1930s, images of great bonfires of books, usually taking place in clearings on fields and forests, usually at midnight or at least at dusk, torchlight burnings of books in great revelries, great joyous occasions as books went up in flames and the smoke wafted towards the midnight skies. Such things were a beauty to the Third Reich. Indeed, people like Goebbels spoke at these book burnings with great gusto that such events typified and symbolized the great cleansing of the German spirit from the decadence and the filth of infection, cultural infection. And as we know, the Third Reich was influenced by Nietzsche. And so it comes as little surprise, does it not, that leaders like Hitler and Goebbels, who read their Nietzsche, would no doubt have come across in that essay of Nietzsche on Schopenhauer, an early essay published when Nietzsche was only 30, long before Zarathustra. In that essay, Nietzsche advocates the burning of books. He begins from the rights of the author to burn his own books, and then goes on for the need in the modern era of his own time, the 19th century, due to the decadence of that culture, for books to be burnt en masse in such a way that prefigures the Nazi book burnings of the 20th century. So if we listen to the passage from Schopenhauer's Educator, we can hear what he says. I sometimes amuse myself with the idea that men may soon grow tired of books and their authors, and the savant of tomorrow come to leave directions in his will, that his body be burned in the midst of his books, including, of course, his own writings. And in the gradual clearing of the forests, might not our libraries be very reasonably used for straw and brushwood? Most books are born from the smoke and vapour of the brain, and to vapour and smoke may they well return. For having no fire within themselves, they shall be visited with fire. And possibly to a later century, our own may count as the Dark Age, because our productions heated the furnace hotter and more continuously than ever before. We are anyhow happy that we can learn to know our time. Isn't that an incredibly prophetic passage? The way he talks of the clearings in the forests, where the contents of a library will form the great smouldering edifice, to the vapour trails of the mere mind murmurings of a decadent culture. And isn't it quite clear that in Nietzsche we have the authentic voice of the Third Reich, burning books, damning its enemies, condemning them outright, unequivocally, and with all due vehemence? Nietzsche was a book burner.